Now, having worked inside a Prime Minister's office, I can't return to the show tonight and not have something to say about the revelations in recent weeks of Scott Morrison's secret power grab over multiple portfolios: health, resources, home affairs, finance, and the Treasury portfolio. All of them, bar health, without the knowledge of his then cabinet colleagues. Now, I've never seen anything like it. Indeed, if it was a political novel or a TV show, I would have said, turn it off, put the book down. It's far too far-fetched to be believed. Morrison's line that he needed to do this in case one of his colleagues fell ill during the pandemic, well, that's utter BS. Morrison knows that. Anyone who's ever worked for a Prime Minister knows that. There are well-established protocols to deal with issues like this. They relate to the continuity of government protocols. It's one of the first things you're briefed on as a staffer to a Prime Minister, or indeed a UPM yourself. There's also been plenty of times an acting minister is sworn into the portfolio of another person if perhaps they're on leave for something like cancer treatment or a serious bereavement. But when that's happened in the past, it's known amongst the cabinet. It's certainly known amongst relevant departmental secretaries, and more often than not, known to the public too via a media statement. By all means, Prime Minister Albanese should get to the bottom of what went on and why, so that the potential of this abuse of power never happens again. And Scott Morrison and his office should, of course, cooperate 100%. But what's really needed here is a full investigation into all the secretive and undemocratic decision-making that's marked government at every level over the past 2.5 years. It's the pandemic, the whole box and dice, as much as Morrison, that deserves investigation. None of Australia's 9 parliaments ever had a full debate about pandemic policy, even though the spending and the restrictions on ordinary freedoms were absolutely unprecedented. Nor do we ever see the health advice or have a chance to properly question officials, or got the answers in Victoria for why rubber bullets were used against Victorians. Part of the problem was that the Liberals, normally the party of smaller government and greater freedom, completely lost their bearings. It's one of the reasons why Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews is still the clear favourite to win again in November, despite running the worst government in the country, because too many Liberals have forgotten what they stand for. So I'm all in favour of a Morrison inquiry, fair enough, but please give us a proper Royal Commission into this whole sorry pandemic mess, because it's now being used as cover for everything from massive debt by the Federal Treasurer to Victoria's ambulance crisis. Given this is supposed to be a democracy, surely we the voters are owed now, at the very least, the truth.